I have struggled with ADD and panic disorder my entire life. Now, I've recognized that in recent years, ADD, ADHD, and anxiety disorders seem to be in vogue, but trust me when I tell you I'm an OG. And because of my condition and the fact that the night is in fact dark and full of terrors, food has long been my drug of choice, my ride or die. Now, I was a really skinny little kid, but by the time I got to middle school, I had a decidedly skinny fat thing happening. And the first day of gym class in the 7th grade, I went into the boys' locker room to change. I took off my shirt and this kid next to me said, "You're fat." And it was at that moment that I became interested in fitness. I started reading bodybuilding magazines and convinced my parents to buy me a weight set and later a gym membership. And I've been into fitness ever since. My first little career path out of high school was as a personal trainer. And I've been working out and focusing on fitness and fighting the good nutritional fight every day since. It's still a daily struggle for me. And because of this, I've paid attention to the conversation on nutrition and dieting this last 45 years and long recognized that the conversation is wrong. It's focused on the wrong stuff. The conversation on dieting sounds like, you doing that bone broth diet? Oh, really? Word? Does that work? Oh, you doing the carnivore, huh? Oh, that's hardcore. Does that work? The conversation is always about whether or not that thing, the diet, the pill, the approach, the macronutrient focus, whether that works. And in all these years, all the many diets that I've seen, I've never seen one that doesn't work. Now, I've seen lots of liars and false claims and charlatans, but in the small print, with every diet, at some point it says you're going to have to take in fewer calories than you burn off. Less energy into the system than the system uses, and it gets smaller. And I think that most everyone knows this, and yet we externalize the problem. We know that the challenge is, how do I get myself to deal with deprivation? How do I get myself to do what I don't want to do? That's the challenge. But we don't want to face that. We want to externalize it because then we might, trip upon or find the solution. And the conversation about success, about making money more specifically, is much the same. Oh, you guys are doing that, you doing a no money down real estate thing? Come on now. Does that really work? Oh, you're investing in penny stocks? Come on, how can you make money? Does that work? And here's the thing about these how to get rich plans. They work. I mean, do people get rich taking a no money down approach to real estate investing? Yes. Investing in penny stocks? Yes. Opening up a store on Amazon? Yes. Affiliate marketing? Yes. Can you get rich using these plans or approaches? Yes. They all work. But we don't focus on the actual challenge in this environment either. How to get yourself to do what you know you need to do. Now, I'm not a fan of Elon Musk, but he's a rich, successful guy. And I watched an interview where he was asked, if someone starts a new venture, how much should they expect to work if they want to be successful? And Musk said, every waking hour. There's your recipe, there's your solution. You work every waking, or at least you may have a job and a family and be trying to get rich in some other way. You work every available hour for, say, a decade, you're going to be successful. And let me interject that this isn't my opinion. Science will tell you, the physics will tell you, I guess, less energy in than energy out, and the thing gets smaller. Nutritional science will tell you fewer calories in than you burn off, and you'll lose weight. And social science will tell you about success. Social science knows who's successful. The people who rate high on the IQ scale and high on the conscientiousness scale. That is to say, people who work smart and work hard. And you don't even really need to be that smart, because the recipes for success are already out there. You just have to put the rubber to the road enough. Now, I'm not here to tell you, I have hacked productivity. I struggle. That's why I'm here sharing this with you, because I know the struggle. But I also know that if you're not focused on the actual problem in any situation, it's hard to find the solution. Harder. Let me give you an example of how focusing on the actual problem, that being how to get oneself to do what one knows he or she needs to do, can bring about a solution more often. About, I don't know, maybe a decade ago, I had a bunch planned for the summer. I was going to be on the lake, and I was going to be on the shore, and I was going to have my shirt off in front of a bunch of people. And I'm not at an age anymore where I have to be ripped all the time, but I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin, and I wanted to lose some weight. Now, I started working on it the latter part of the winter, so I figured I got 3 months, no worries. And this is enough motivation. I've got the rest of the winter and the spring to get right. But as I traveled through May and into June, I wasn't doing it. I wasn't pulling it off. I was not losing weight. The bottom line is, if there was food in the house, I was going to eat it. And I knew that I had to attend to that, not the diet that I was on, but how to get myself to do what I needed to do. So I got the food out of the house. Now, I live in the city, so I could go out every morning and buy what I needed for the day. I didn't have enough time to go shopping, really, but right by my home there was a little diner and a 7-Eleven. And probably 30 to 50% of the time, I went to 7-Eleven. I would go to 7-Eleven and get a sandwich, 600 calories, a small bag of chips, 300 calories, and a pint of Ben & Jerry's, 1,100 calories. And if I took in that 2,000 or less that day, I lost. And I got ripped that summer. Sub 10% body fat, and you can see my abs. Now, I'm not recommending this diet to you. It's not, nutritious, and it certainly wasn't delicious. But I looked at the actual problem, me, my psychology, my behavior, and attended to that. And I offer to you that that's where the problem lies, and therefore where the solution is going to be found. As long as we externalize the problem and make it about something else, we're going to struggle to find solutions. And while it's not easy to find solutions, even when you're looking right at the problem, right in the mirror, as is often the case, that's at least where, you should start. Because in that mirror, in your own psychology, in your own behavior, that's where the solution is going to be found to the right body, the right money, the right life. What you want is going to come from you. We live in America in the 21st century, and there are opportunities abound. The challenge is getting ourselves to do what we need to do to take advantage of them.